That's right. It is another beautiful November day right here in the big old damn boot of Louisiana. And joining us as always, it's Mr. Harshmed and Junior. We haven't switched over yet, so they're probably talking and I can't hear them, so it's fine. But here we go. This is the CrayolaSec Harsh Reality.
All right, and for some reason, Scott Sonnier sounds like the voice of God
I have
while
no
feeling
idea
under
why.
the weather, apparently.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm okay. I can hear myself echoing for some reason. I don't know what happened there.
I don't either.
Jesus, what is that? I hear it. Okay, it disappeared. That was kind of, yeah.
All right, hello again, everybody. Welcome to the show. Of course, we have the echoey voice of God, who's suffering from who's still suffering being under the weather. Scott Sonnier and his son Scott Ryan. So, there you have it, and we are underway.
Good afternoon, Mr. Robert Walker. I see you there with your nice little sunglasses and smiley face.
Hey, Robert.
I think my son's microphone is so hot, it's picking me up across the room.
That's a pretty hot mic.
Junior, turn down your gain just a hair. Okay, I don't hear it now. Maybe the harshest Crayola you've ever seen. What exactly is a harsh Crayola?
I don't know. Is it a crayon? Is it a crayon that people want to use but is difficult to use, or is it a crayon that people use and the color's terrible? Like, I don't understand what a harshest crayon is.
What color would that be? Would that be like I guess you could say that would be like no, I don't know. Like almost so dark blue it would be black.
Maybe, perhaps. I don't know.
I don't know.
It could be all sorts of stuff, really.
I'm curious now.
I am too.
The harshest Crayola. You know, I've been suffering from a head cold now for about 2 weeks, and I hear myself again. Son, turn your mic down, please. Hair. I can like literally hear myself in it. Okay, now it's muted. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that, but I can like hear myself talking. It's weird.
I don't know why either. All I know is that it is 2 days away from Turkey Day, or as the indigenous people call it, Thursday.
Well, to be fair, what are you planning for Thursday?
I don't know. Probably spending time with family, eating some good food, and then whatever happens, happens. All I know is like, for some reason, most people in my family, unless it's ground turkey, don't really care for the concept of turkey anyway, because it's like the bland, it's like the less, it's like the most flavorless. It's a meat that's like hard to get flavor on it. Like it's a very dry type of meat, unlike the chicken thighs or something.
Well, I mean, we always inject them here.
Right, but I'm saying even after the injections, it's like.
Well, I mean, if you let it sit there and like marinate for like a day after you inject it before you actually cook it, it's a lot better.
All right. Well, in that case, I got to run to Costco tomorrow.
You can't buy a turkey Thursday. Well,
Well,
you might be
I
able
could buy
to.
it Wednesday. Unless you lost track of time, that's perfectly okay, I guess. I don't know.
No, I mean, what places where you could, where would you go? Like Walmart for turkey on Thursday?
Costco on Wednesday. But yeah.
It's going to be frozen, Harsh. It takes like
Well,
2 or 3
we'll
days
see.
in a
We'll see.
refrigerator to defrost. You're not going to be eating turkey.
I mean, it depends how you get it, and depends if you get
Curry turkey? I don't know, but that sounds horrible.
it. I mean, you can make a curry out of like the leftover turkey. I remember some years when we did have Thanksgiving, what we'd actually do is take some of the turkey pieces and turn them into, get some onions and tomatoes and turn it into a curry, some other vegetable seasonings and turn it into a curry.
Or we would make like a turkey
Imagine
version of
making
chicken salad out of it
a
too.
turkey. Oh, that sounds gross.
Man, it's like chicken salad, but with instead of chicken, it's turkey.
The chicken sounds bad enough.
Wait, and nobody said it had to be healthy.
No, I
I mean,
mean,
I am from South Louisiana. If these people could figure out how to cook dirt and make it edible, they would.
only make you can only make things so edible. You can only make things so edible with like spices, butter, and oil. Like after
I
that,
mean,
even they
these
all have their limits.
these people literally went out into a pond and said, "Oh, look, it's a miniature lobster. It's actually a bug. But hey, if we boil it in the right seasoning, it'll taste great." And now we have crawfish.
No, no. I know. But Robert says there's such thing as curry turkey. I mean, you can have. Well, there's ground turkey curry called keema. You can make that with either ground beef or ground turkey. But like actual like turkey, meat, the actual from the bird itself, day after Thanksgiving, you can make it into a curry, but it's not like a special. If you don't think of Indian cooking, you're like, oh man, let's have some turkey. No,
Well, and you know,
ground turkey, yes, that type of turkey, no.
I like ground turkey, but I prefer the ground white meat. I don't like the
Mm,
dark meat too much.
no.
And people try to pass off turkey bacon. It tastes just like regular bacon. No, it does not. Stop lying to people. That tastes nothing like regular fucking bacon, you jackass. Get the fuck out of here with that shit.
And Scott Jr. said that's racist. That you prefer white ground turkey over darker ground turkeys.
Well, then, so be it. I am a turkey racist.
That's awesome. I didn't know that was such a thing until today. But yeah,
Well, I mean, in today's cancel culture, cancer culture. Yeah, that's even better. Anything's possible nowadays. Forgive me,
man.
I'm like hung up on. All right, now. Oh yeah, now we're not going to get kicked off of StreamYard. That's about right. Mention North Korea.
Yeah, North Korea. They're just North Korea and the what do you call
I
it? Well, they've definitely turned the South China Sea into a big fat butthole because the U.S. and the South Koreans and the Japanese keep having their little military drills there. So
and I seen on Facebook the other day one of my friends had made a statement, something to the effect that that missile that Russia accidentally shot over to Poland, and they were like trying to not acknowledge it. I said, half of me laughs because they did it intentionally, and the other half of me is laughing because they probably didn't even know they fired the missile in the first place. I mean, this is Russia. I mean, come on, people. They probably didn't even realize they fired the missile.
yeah,
Who
I mean
invades
that
it?
wouldn't surprise me either.
Who invades? Who as a nation invades a country the size of of Mississippi and can't defeat him. Well, I mean,
I
technically
mean,
you're
that
right.
sounds an awful lot like Vietnam and the Korean War. I was gonna say, wait a second.
Like you could drive across the entire country in 20 minutes in a car, and but yet this entire nation can't. Russia, give it up, dude. Just like it's time to just go home now at this point. I mean, you've been at it for this long, and you can't win. Obviously, the country's still there. Just go home.
See, I don't know if they're winning the war or losing the war. That's what I don't know.
It doesn't matter at this point. I mean, this has been going on what almost this entire year.
Well, technically, there's been going on off and on for 8 years, and it's called a proxy war between the West and Russia, with Ukraine just basically doing whatever the West wants them to do. So, I mean,
Okay, so Robert says he's not following the story too close, but he believes that it turned out to be a Ukrainian rocket.
that would not surprise me at all. I mean, there's so many lies coming from that region. It's like retarded. You can't get any truth in there. Like, I'm not saying Vladimir Putin and the Russians are the good guys here. I believe there are good guys in war, mostly, most of the time. But what I will also say is that if you're gonna have me cheering for Hitler because you don't like Stalin, then you can go fuck yourself. I am not choosing between one or the other.
This is
Okay.
weird. Please choose the lesser of two evils.
Yeah. That's how people get. That's how people get in the politics because they feel like they have to choose a lesser of two. What the fuck? No, leave me alone. It's like you want
No,
me to decide between supporting a dictator and a group of Nazis.
well, yeah. I mean, that kind of that's the fun of it.
I know. There's, there's certain friends of ours I have conversations with about like geopolitics. I'm like, okay, you're asking me to choose between Nazis and a dictator. How can you say they're Nazis? I'm like, they have the fucking spot. They have the fucking Nazi signs all over their like uniforms and their flags. And so someone tries to tell me about like how, oh well, the swastika used to be a part of Hinduism. I'm like, yeah, thank you for telling me
When
about
the
my own culture.
swastika is still used in, I think, a couple of different militaries. It's
Yeah,
got a completely different meaning.
no, well, I know it has a meaning, but I'm saying the more modern neo-Nazi side has nothing to do with that. So I'm
Right. I remember working at Exxon years and years and years ago, and before World War II, they had bought a unit from Germany, and all of the valves in this particular unit, until recently, still had swastikas on the handles because it was a German unit, and it came
yeah,
from pre-war Germany. Exxon Baton
yeah,
Rouge, building your
right.
future.
Right. So and I'm pretty sure there's still submarine. There's still not, submarines from Nazi Germany just chilling in the freaking Gulf of Mexico as we speak. It wouldn't fucking surprise me at all.
Now BP's done drilled through all of them, extracted all the oil. It's fine.
Maybe that's why they wanted to burn out down the whole Gulf of Mexico. They wanted to get rid of all the Nazi stuff.
That was like the dumbest call by a corporation ever. You have this entire drilling platform saying, "No, don't do this," and they're like, "No, do it." And then you know the biggest environmental disaster in the history of the United States. Great job, BP.
Yeah, I mean, it was until like the latest oil spill. But either way, it's just like it's just absurd. The whole thing is absurd.
Yeah, and what was funny is that movie they made with it with Mark Wahlberg actually turned out to be very accurate. I mean, they followed it real close. You couldn't get much more accurate than what it was.
And that's why they say life imitates art.
Life is the greatest story of all time.
That it is.
And public service announcement from Walker, Louisiana. I just want everyone to know that the new sandwich, one of the new sandwiches they have at McDonald's are absolutely killer. And after this live, I will be going and getting one. And it's not a goddamn McRib sandwich, you nasty fucks.
Such a
Hard just asked for the link. I didn't vote. I did. Oh shit! No, I didn't. Whoops. Sorry, Hart. Or Hart.
Or if you and your McDonald's obsession, you couldn't even like you're so obsessed with McDonald's you forgot to send the link to Art.
I know. Jesus. Well, I mean, they got that new smoky quarter pounder BLT sandwich. That's just like the best fucking McDonald's sandwich ever. And I really do believe now because I stupidly got a McRib the other day, like I do every fucking year. And you think, oh, look, it's the McRib. I missed this, and then you eat it, and it's like, why the fuck did I miss this? I think that's applied by McDonald's. They just hold it long enough so people forget how fucking disgusting that thing is.
Yeah.
Well, I always wondered how, like, they can call it a rib sandwiches without no bones in the darn thing.
Well, but it's supposed to be boneless ribs, but I mean, it's processed fucking meat product is what it is. I don't care what it is. And I'm pretty sure it's the same fucking meat patties they've been using since 1993. They just have a big warehouse with a freezer in it full of these fucking things, and that's what they sell us every year.
93, try like the 80s or the 70s.
You find a promotional bag from Back to the Future in 1985. Try the McRib sandwich today at McDonald's. We support Back to the Future. So, Harp, what's going on in your neck of the woods, sir?
Nothing much, man. I'm just doing some art, avoiding paying attention to the news.
Avoiding the news? What, you're not interested in knowing how Elon Musk is systematically destroying Twitter in the eyes of thousands of people right now?
Hmm. Well, that's a little bit more interesting. I'm talking about the local news.
Oh, well. No, our police are too busy running around and chasing people into horrific fatal accidents and shit. And that's normal down here.
Uh,
But no, the growing consensus is that the guy that spent $44 billion for a social media platform, which essentially means it's a privately owned company now, and he can do whatever the fuck he wants with it, and puts it under corporate restructure. That all of a sudden means that it's going to go away. I'm still trying to figure out the logic behind that, but it is what it is.
The only thing I know is that leftists are still crying about Twitter no longer being their safe space. And at the end of the day, since it is a private corporation, but as long as they follow Article 230, then it really shouldn't be that big of an issue.
Right,
if they don't, then that's where the law gets in the way.
Right, and the only way it would stay under that, or actually be able to get around that article, it would be as if it was too small to be considered a virtual town hall.
Right.
And it's way too fucking big for that. So, I mean, it's going to be protected by free speech regardless.
Yeah.
Even though it's a privatized company, it doesn't really matter. And him wanting to charge $8 a month for Twitter Blue, I really don't see a problem with that. Who really cares? He wants to monetize his investment. Okay, then do whatever you want. It's your company. Have fun.
I don't have to participate.
Exactly. And if you don't like it, just don't participate in it.
Right. You know what's the funniest part about Facebook? If Facebook decided to do the same thing with Facebook accounts, like, hey, if you want to have a blue check mark next to the thing at $8.99, I don't think and you don't have to deal with any of the censorship. I think the majority of the people just leave the website. I really do.
It would definitely make it a haven at some point. But at this point, I really don't know if that would be a bad thing to watch Facebook systematically disassemble itself.
Yeah, I mean, come on, it's been what 18 years.
Pretty much.
I mean, it's gonna be year 20 in about less than. Today's February 20th. Today's November 22nd, 2022. Facebook was created in 2004, February 2004. Hashtag Operation Lifelog. So in like 15 months, Facebook's gonna be 20 years old.
Basically, yeah.
And the only reason Facebook exists is because it was quote unquote discontinued as Operation Lifelog.
And it's just like a civilization. The more tyrannical the rules get, that's when the collapse becomes. That's the start of the collapse.
Yeah.
You
Well, I don't know. I mean, is it one of those things that where you absolutely have to have it every day?
know?
Absolutely not. It's not supposed to be.
But some people treat it as though it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they wake up in the middle of the night and they're going to the bathroom, checking on posts and stuff.
Some people never. I mean, the way it's set up now, people hardly ever leave a group chat.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even need the site. They just have Facebook Messenger, and that's like all they need.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what Snapchat is too now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Junior uses pretty much Snapchat. Bullshit. All right. Well, he says bullshit. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the hell people are doing.
I mean, the whole thing is just ludicrous. I mean, the whole thing is just absurd.
Well, I mean, all the social media platforms are. But what I think is funny is that the whole fact that like sites like TikTok, the parent company, the Chinese company that owns it in China, if you're under 14 years old, it's nothing but educational shit. That's all you can get on your thread. But here in the United States, you can watch whatever the fuck you want at 10.
Well, that probably explains why the Chinese are ahead of the U.S. when it comes to education.
Yeah, it's like educational little TikToks, and it's completely different over there. Why can't they do that here? What's so wrong with that?
Yeah, that would actually save a lot of problems. You know, you don't have any of the trafficking, you don't have any of the exploitation, you don't have any of it. You just have like, hey, now on TikTok to study. Now that being said, how many people are honest about their age on the internet, especially if they're under 18?
Not many. Not many at all. Can you click that link that Robert just dropped in the chat? I mean, in the comments.
I'll try to click that. Robert Walker says, this is now you talk about the news. So check this out. China is building a nuclear power plant in Argentina as it looks to Latin America.
That's dude.
What do you mean, like for whom? What?
I mean, is it an investment company or something? What the hell?
I'm guessing so. They're just choosing to
Well, they
make
should have
money
got
there.
the Russians to build them, to build it. That would have been the good one.
I'm thinking of eBay Chinese mass-produced nuclear power plants.
Manufactured nuclear power plants, modular power plants. You be sitting in your backyard and watch them.
Japanese.
Yeah, and just watch them bring in all of these boxes and they assemble a nuclear reactor out of it.
Yeah. China is
It's
building
more
a power.
easier than the IKEA one.
And they would have some stupid instructions, like in half written English, on how to put it together.
You mean half written Spanish because you have to keep pandering.
If put fuel rod too far in reactor, case blow.
Anyway, let me read this. A recently inked deal to build a nuclear power plant in Argentina is the latest effort by China to engage with Latin American countries using its advanced clean energy technology, part of a broader push to expand its influence in the region. The U.S. the $8 billion plant known as Atucha 3 will use China's homegrown Hualong-1 design. Located near Lima, about 100 kilometers northwest of the capital, Buenos Aires, it will be Argentina's fourth nuclear power station and will have an installed capacity of 1.2 gigawatts and an initial life of 60 years. And
That's
that's all they let me read on this.
well, okay. Who's kicking themselves in the ass in the United States for not thinking of this first? That would be my first question. You know, here's China going, "Hey, we're going to help you with clean energy," just so they could cement themselves a little further as a world superpower. And the United States is just sitting on its fingers.
That's usually how it goes.
And they have a couple of weird things over in China, like some things that they are like anyone and everyone can have two-stroke motors, and it's not restricted or anything like that over there. So, like in some ways, they can be dirty, but in other ways, yeah, their clean energy sector is much more advanced than the Americans.
That doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, we've been literally funneling tech over there in remanufacturing facilities forever. And it was just a matter of time before these people were smart enough to start reverse engineering everything we send them and make it better than in their own ways.
About 50 years been doing that.
I mean, it's yeah, but that's a natural process. You can't funnel all of this tech into a country for remanufacturing purposes and not expect them to actually grow as a technological superpower at that point.
Yeah.
You know, these people are not stupid. They're going to eventually figure out how these components work, and they're going to reverse engineer them, and they're going to improve on it. They're going to figure out different little tricks while we're just stuck in ruts.
I mean, look at even when it comes to infrastructure, it's like look at all the look at like all the infrastructure of this country. It's like all falling apart, and it's like highways from the '60s or rails from the '60s or '70s or '30s. It's like none of it's actually like recent.
I mean, that's even anywhere. I mean, look at Baton Rouge. I'll give you a great example of that. The I-10 I-110 split in Baton Rouge literally funnels I-10 eastbound down to one lane in the middle of the city. One lane coming off of a bridge across the Mississippi River at that. And well, we don't understand why there's so much traffic here. That's the only way in the damn city at that point is a one lane freaking interstate. You rocket scientists. While China puts in like 25 freaking lane wide super highways. You know, I mean,
I'm sure China's green energy initiatives are better than the U.S.'s because the U.S. green energy initiatives aren't even green.
No, those are corporate initiatives.
Right. It's like, I don't know, what the hell is green about mining 70,000 years worth of cobalt to fuel an electric car that can't even get can't even get you like like a gallon per mile.
And
Yeah.
the worst part about that is there's no way to recycle none of these batteries yet.
Yeah.
No
Right.
way at all.
Right. Like if you go on a road trip driving a Tesla, you better hope to God that you're able to stop at a charging stop. Otherwise, you're stuck in the middle of the road.
Or you better have a
You
small
gotta,
little generator to put in the trunk of your car, which
yeah.
kind of defeats the whole purpose of having a Tesla in the first place. But you need electricity some kind of way or another.
Yeah,
And
you
how
have to
long do
fill up
all
that
these
generator
batteries
with gas.
last? Because like the Toyota Priuses only last 5 years, and they got to be replaced. And then the replacement of battery is worth more than your vehicle, so it's a throwaway vehicle.
Right. And even on a car like a Tesla, you get to the fender bender, your whole car's screwed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, your
I mean,
car's done.
they're novel ideas. I mean, there's a lot of things they can improve on. I mean, for one, the actual overall horsepower and torque that you can get out of an electric motor as opposed to a gas engine is just unbelievable.
Yeah. And
So
it
if you
sounds a
take
lot
that same
cleaner.
technology and you would apply it to 18 wheelers, which is something that Tesla is doing right now,
Um,
you know, you actually have a solution for as far as like diesel burning vehicles.
yeah, one, you have that, and two, it also sounds a lot cleaner too. 'Cause you're not hearing any like engine noise or anything. But that being said, it's like you get to do a fender bender, a car that's supposed to last 3 decades goes out in 3 seconds.
Yeah, and it does.
But that's something that has to be fixed.
I don't know. I think I'm very impressed with a lot of the technological strides they've made with electric powered vehicles, but we're not there yet. There's,
No.
you know, I mean, they still need a lot more improvement before we can start unassing the damn petroleum powered devices.
Well, the truth is, we were there. The problem is they got rid of all that damn technology. So now we're just
Yeah.
starting over, and it's like, yeah.
That's when, well, yeah, they got to deal with their switching. The two huge problems are shorts. One of them causing fires, and the other one causing the vehicle just to accelerate on its own. Yeah, these are major, huge issues that have to be dealt with.
Right. Well, then I'm trying to get back to the level they used to have the technology for until it got destroyed on purpose. We actually had like the technology to where the U.S. actually had the technology to where you could have like electric cars that fix most of the green issues. But then for some reason, that technology disappeared. So,
And I mean, and if you want to go to the route of hybrids have been around since the 40s.
yeah,
The
Even
biggest
longer.
hybrid there is in the world, and it always will be, is a freaking locomotive.
yep,
It's a diesel engine that spins a generator that spins traction motors. That is a hybrid vehicle, you
there it
know,
is.
and those are super ridiculously efficient at what they do. You know, everybody's like, oh, well, it spins, you know, it burns God knows how much fuel per minute. Yes, but it moves over 300,000 pounds of materials at the same
Right.
time. You know, you have to do that math. I mean, it's one of the most efficient vehicles or modes of transportation we have, and they've been around since the 40s. So if you're going to tell me that they can do that with a locomotive, why can't they do that with a fucking car?
That's a very good question.
And the semi trucks too, like you were saying, like it's absolutely insane that they're not using that immense power that the torque behind that moves.
Right, right. I mean, fucking electric motors are just unbelievable when it comes to horsepower and torque. I mean, a 5 horsepower motor, I mean, a 1/3 horsepower electric motor will outwork a 5 horsepower gas engine. I mean, come on. They did it with locomotives since the 40s. They could have done it with cars. Could have done it with cars long, 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 long time ago. Look at Chrysler with the turbine research they did. They had a turbine powered car at one time, jet turbine powered car that would burn pretty much anything flammable, and you could run it on that, and the government put the brakes on them and shut them down. And that's what we're good at, washing things that'll be better for us, and then freaking out when we can't make it happen. You see, I go on a rant and Harsh disappears. You see that, huh?
Yeah,
You're an asshole. Harsh, man, you're an asshole.
They do talk too long.
So that's my son telling me that I say too much. Hart, what are you doing over there?
Art.
I said, what are you doing over there?
Art.
Art, let me see what you're doing.
No, not at all.
Are you going to show us after you're done?
Oh, I want the gun tonight.
Gun?
I want the gun.
Oh, I like that. That was awesome. I didn't know that was kind of art you did. I like that.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So why are you hiding from the local news up there? What's going on up there?
Oh man, they're just really trying to push the bullshit narratives of I don't want to say the word. The whole COVID. Yeah, they're trying to push it even though it's not happening. Well, it's just,
So COVID's making a grand appearance back up there up north?
they're trying to put out all these arguments. Oh, we should be more fearful. We should have more masks. We should be this.
I mean,
Yeah.
everything down here is pretty much operating like COVID never even happened.
Oh, man, no, they're pushing the fear factor. It's like we should be afraid, even though the government or nobody is saying anything. But why don't we have that stuff?
So it's basically just the media trying to scare people.
Yep.
And what's going on? They don't have enough news to keep ratings up, that they have to make shit up now?
Yeah, Grandma's angry that she might get that. Oh yeah, oh it's disgusting.
You survived the first 4 waves of it. If you're still around now, I think you're going to be okay.
Right.
Let's shut down an entire country over a virus with a 98% survival rate.
I know, even with their logic, it's like,
What logic?
I know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I know
That got
people
twisted
died.
anyway. So it was like it's twisted.
I mean, I know people died. I know it caused a ton of deaths. Excuse me. But I mean, so does the flu.
Yeah.
This is a seasonal virus now at this point. It's not going to go away.
And yeah, even the numbers, they're matching along or even smaller than the flu itself. So it was like,
And I
yeah,
think if more people would have promoted personal hygiene and wearing masks as opposed to just shutting every fucking thing down under the sun, I think we probably would have been better off to start off with. I mean, people still don't know how to wash their damn hands.
yeah, see, they pushed their scope right. It was hand sanitized, so it's not quite it's alcohol based. It's not actual hand soap or anything like that. Yeah, I prefer. Yeah, people should be washing their hands after they go to the bathroom. That was a pretty good thing to
Yeah, I mean, it was
implement.
like,
People
okay,
to
we have
learn to do.
a potentially deadly virus on our hands. Start doing with what you should have been doing since you were 2. Wash your hands when you use the bathroom. Wash your hands whenever you touch something dirty. This is something
Yeah.
you should have been doing since you were a small child to start off with. When did people become so nasty that they just stopped washing their fucking hands?
Uh, I worked in the kitchen for a week. The wife worked in the kitchen for years. Oh man, yeah, cleanliness is the thing.
I would hope so.
Yeah, it's a requirement by law.
It's almost scary that people don't think it is.
Yeah, yes. Uh, that's the thing. Like these restaurants and stuff like that, they're already clean like crazy. They're already doing so. How much more cleaner do you want? It, well, some of them, some of them, don't keep up with their cleanliness and stale. But you know,
Yeah, I mean, you got to go in the back of a Chinese restaurant in the kitchen in one of those places. Oh my
oh, I
God.
know, man. Yeah, I've been a delivery guy too, and I've been in a bunch of these kitchens, and some of them they don't, uh, yeah,
We
they
get
don't keep up with what they should.
we get called on some of them to replace like contactors for their exhaust vents and hoods and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And those things got enough grease on the inside of them that, like Jimmy Hoffa's, you just know he's like suspended in one of them somewhere, like forever frozen in time and grease. Yeah.
Jimmy off. So that's why he's been missing for 40 years.
He's suspended in grease in a Chinese restaurant's vent hood from their kitchen.
Oh, man, this is what happens when you're too pro-labor, when you're too pro-union.
You know how commercial fridges have their motors on top of the fridge?
Yeah.
So they put this box on the top of the fridge, and well, I'm a mover, or was a mover, so I checked the fridge. There must have just liters of grease
Ugh.
dumped on. There
Oh,
was
that's
an
gross.
actual pool that gathered on top of this fridge, man.
That's disgusting. I've been so fucking mad.
I was pissed, man. I was just like, I'm getting $50 for this. Come on.
I only wanted to pay you $50. That's fucked up, dude. Oh God.
Yeah, some kitchens are gross.
And I mean, I have a good friend of mine that owns a Chinese restaurant here, and I mean, you can literally eat food off his floors. His is
Yeah,
clean. And then you go into some of them, and it's like, holy cow, how are y'all even open? It's
But aren't
Jesus
the
Christ.
dirtiest restaurants usually the ones that make the best food?
No, not in all cases. The most ran down ones are normally the ones that make the best food, but they're still clean.
And
Okay, just making sure you got the different stuff.
They may look like if you sneeze too hard in the building, then it'll fall over, but they're clean. You know,
your accommodations ain't the nicest, but their kitchen
right.
good.
I mean, it may not have all brand new equipment in it, but it works and it's clean. You know,
And the food, hole in the wall food.
Yeah.
and those little dive places like the little bar rooms and shit like that that nobody really knows about. Those normally have the best food.
And then it's cooked by someone who actually cares about the food and cooks for you. Like, oh, this is one of these things I start like, don't go to McDonald's, man.
Well, I mean, you're right. It's their food is their face. I mean, you know, it's their entire business. You
Yeah,
know,
they care.
so they actually care. I mean, we do have some big restaurants here that are like that too. Don Seafood in Denham Springs is like that. You know, they really care about their customers and the quality of their food, and they have some of the best seafood and steaks around. You know. I don't get paid for that, so Don's, you know, like 10% off next time I go to eat or something. That would be great.
Well, now that we're at it, there's another hole in the wall place they're like going to for food.
Where?
Sal's Pizza Pub.
Oh, I thought
They
you was
got
going to say 7-Eleven. I was about to say no, Harsh. Just don't do that, please.
no. That's not how that works, Frenchie. That's not a hole in the wall place. Although there's a 7-Eleven next to there. But anyway, the point is, you can't even make that up. Oh, they have some
Oh,
really good
God.
Italian beef sandwiches and like good tavern style pizza as well.
Yeah, there's a couple of little Greek places out here that are like that. Little hole in the walls. They used to be
Yeah.
Church's Chickens at one time. Now they're gyro places or hero or however the fuck you say
Yeah,
that.
yeah. I'm trying to think of the name. It's not.
Gyro or some shit.
Yeah, Euros. Yeah, I'm trying to
Euros,
think of
that's
the Euro
it.
place right here.
Yeah. But they have those, you know, and you can get fried feta cheese and stuff, and you can't get that shit anywhere else.
Yeah, Skippy Zeros is another place right there, right off Butterfield Road. It's really good. And you got
Might have
Sal's
to.
off 22nd and Muji Zeros off and Skippy Zeros off of Butterfield. So yeah, any of those places, feel free to give me a discount. Especially Danny. I could use a free round of shots when I go to Sal's on Sunday. But no, their food is like delicious. I feel like going there just for an Italian beef sandwich right now.
And speaking of more free plugs, tomorrow night join us for CSHR Radio live on YouTube to be uploaded to Facebook after for live at the Brickyard tomorrow night.
Yep.
Sorry,
And
but you know we kind of get a little messed over on the audio for those. So
all that money a month, all that 60 something bucks a month for that nonsense. And don't forget, for those speaking of shameless plugs for people on the show, Art Honer always has his morning readings or morning live streams every weekday. If you're tired of the nonsense, you just want to listen to Art Honer go on about the history, the native history and the culture and what's wrong with people being stupid. You can check his personal page and his Facebook page.
Art, unmute yourself. I really need to. You're muted. There you go. You got it.
I was trying to yap too.
But no, I really need you to get with you and set you up for the radio. So whenever you're doing your live streams like that, your daily stuff, you can go ahead and stream it across the radio channel too, radio station.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's an internet based thing right now. That that's business to be discussed later. There's a lot going on with that right now. It's very positive. So that's all I'll say about that right now.
We are having. It is a new day. So,
And we're also
yes,
switching internet radio station platforms because we're getting an app now. So that's something to look forward to.
and more importantly, we have our show on Fridays.
That was just really shameless.
Which one?
And the last one, the Friday show. That was just so fucking shameless.
No, well, that's why we're here.
There goes Horace again with a bat right out of the field.
It might be. It could be.
Yeah, it's gone. This is Harry Carey, broadcasting live from the baseball diamond.
And this weekend we might even have more we might have more musical shows uploaded to the CrayolaSec Arts, Crafts, and Music page too. So
Yeah, we're also working on a few things here. On the 19th of December, we're going to be doing a production from Phil Brady's the Baton Rouge Blues Society is putting that on. So that's going to be a pretty big thing. That's going to be pre-recorded, you know. So what else you got going on? I hear there's a festival getting ready to occur up there.
Oh yeah, I might be doing. I might. I don't know if I feel like doing this or not. But there might be a chance of going. I might be at Homegrown Arts Festival tomorrow. Might run into the Vultures, and some of the other musical acts in that area. So,
I'd like to see some interviews from some of them guys up there.
yeah,
If
it'd be good to.
possible.
It'd be great to have them on. But, I mean, I've interviewed them before at their events. They're pretty cool, but especially Tony Cruz, he's great at that. Like he'll be playing in the middle, he'll be setting out in the middle of setting up, and he'll be happy to knock out like 10, 15 minutes on an interview, just setting up his keyboard and all that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last time I was at Homegrown, we had so many interviews though. Yeah, I think you saw some with like JD Kostick and Jack the Acquaintance, and
Yeah.
we had Dear Dario come on last minute.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure. I need to get with Mr. Kenneth, the guy that's running this thing for December 19th. I don't even know who the artists are. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know who they are, but I don't know what lineup they have yet. I mean, and you already kind of know what's going on at that festival, so. Yeah.
All right. I mean, we're definitely gonna. I mean, one way or the other, tonight's gonna be a very eventful. Tomorrow night's gonna be more eventful than I expected to be. So.
Hopefully not for me. I mean, we're just got Brickyard tomorrow night, so.
I mean, the weird part is I might see if I want to go sing at Shanahan's tomorrow night too. But on the other hand, I want to see if. And I also have to see if my family's gonna plan some extra like pre Thursdays happening, or if they're gonna be too busy. That's stuff.
I'm just looking forward to watching the Macy's Day Parade, and hopefully they don't have a bunch of bullshit in the middle of the fucking floats like they've been having.
Of course, they'd have more bullshit in front of fucking float.
I miss the old days where you could watch the fucking parade and see the marching bands and shit.
Yeah, back in my day, the Macy's 4th Thanksgiving Day Parade used to be watchable.
I had to sit there at the fire and stoke it every once in a while.
Meanwhile, Hart's like, oh, fuck that parade, fuck that whole day, fuck the concept of this whole day.
Hold on, I was raised with a drunken father during those days. God damn it! I miss the good old days. Shit.
Well, I could always recreate those moments with with Scott Ryan.
We used to fry turkeys and they weren't frozen, so we didn't blow the grease everywhere and light the house on fire. It was a great time.
Yeah, Scott Ryan. I said your dad's gonna recreate his childhood with you. That's what I
No,
fucking said.
no, he doesn't want
He
that.
sounds like Tigger from Winnie the Pooh.
Okay, I have a cold. Thank you very much.
Do it again.
They don't want to do it anymore.
Say it.
And now a letter from Ohio.
In a world.
In a world.
And
See,
Hart's
I'm-
probably like, why is everything closed on Thursday? Fuck this shit. Close it for a day where it actually means something. We'll close it for this shit. You know what? Fuck. Black Friday is our reparations. God damn it. I don't know. What type of bullshit is that?
I only went to one Black Friday sale, and that was like 10 years ago for a goddamn television for my ex-mother-in-law. And it was actually very civilized. And it was at a Walmart. I was surprised, but I never went to another one.
I don't think I've been to a Black Friday event in 20 years.
Yeah, it was like when the flat screens were just becoming like really, really popular, and
Right.
they had one year they had like for Black Friday they had a 32-inch no name brand flat screen for $100 or some shit like that, you know. And we went and stood in line. We stood in line for about 20 minutes, got the TV, and picked up a couple of other things on the way, towards the checkout counters, and that was it. It wasn't bad at all. But I mean, they had lines, and they were cutting the lines off when they ran out of product too. So it was first come, first serve.
Yeah.
That's what I don't understand. I watch all those videos every year, and it's like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Fucking flat screen. It's okay, dude. You can go to Goodwill and buy one. $20. I mean, they're every fucking where now. Calm down. The new TCL Roku TV.
They're even worth selling anymore. Like,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. People amaze me every year with that.
we don't have a TV anymore. Well, we have one, I guess. But, it's just hooked up to computers, right? Like, it's just monitored.
Well, that's one TV in here. It's a 32-inch. It's hooked to the one computer, and there's 3 monitors, and then a big screen in the living room and one in the bedrooms. You know, but I mean, I really don't. I'll play around on my phone for a little while and shit post on my Facebook for a little while, and then I go to bed. I really don't watch TV. Or I'll watch MK, some dumb shit from Reddit or something like that on YouTube. Just out of boredom. But I did find a Mad magazine at Walmart today, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Wow. Did you buy it or did you leave it there?
Oh no, I got it. It's here. It's in the bedroom waiting for me.
It doesn't still look very old.
Yes, yes. And this is a reissue from a special from like when I was a kid, so it's going to be even better.
Oh, wow.
I always found it weird. It's like, how is this brand new and just released a good old?
Well, I mean, the artists that worked at Mad Magazine were around whenever the Old Testament was written. So, I mean, these guys make Nancy Pelosi look like a teenager. I mean,
Well, that'd probably explain their TV show format too. It's like they used to have like a show that rivaled to SNL, and it would look like a show from the early '90s, even though it was like in the 2000s.
But it was great. It was completely original. It was still completely original. It was so fucking retarded that it was funny.
It really was.
Like
The
Stewie.
guy, the coffee guy.
But there, yeah, let me do it. That's Stewie.
No, funniest one was when Ari Spears was doing an impersonation of R. Kelly, the parody of R. Kelly's "I'm the Greatest."
And then like that's the drugged out Whitney impersonator of
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Okay, but all right. Well, now that was all fine and great, but nobody can beat Jim Carrey's Fire Marshal Bill from In Living Color. Nobody will ever top Fire Marshal Bill. That is the only man I've ever seen cut his own leg off in a demonstration.
Fire Marshal Bill.
Did you Google it just now?
They just looked it up just
Play a clip on YouTube real quick while you're sitting there looking at your phone. You'll hate me later for it.
This clip's so old. David Allen Greer is there.
How's that roast coming along? It's almost ready, dear. Sounds close. Dad, it's stopped right in front of the house. What's going on? All right, everybody, let's all just calm down. I'll take care of this. Nice to meet you, folks. Won't you come in? Don't mind if I do. I'm a real fireman. That's right, princess. Seems like you have a beautiful family here. Why, thank you, Fire Marshal Bill. Now, how can we help you? Well, it's National Fire Safety Week. I've been going door to door looking for fire hazards. Mind if I give your place a little inspection? Please do.
Please do.
Does your father always smoke a pipe? Yes, sir. Pipes, cigarettes, number one cause of domestic fires. Let me show you something. Certainly. Now, say one night you're drifting off to sleep on the couch and a pipe falls out of your hand like that. Now you start dreaming that you're having a little barbecue, you pull out a can of lighter fluid. Hey, Fire Marshal Bill, your finger's on fire! That's nothing. I got fire so many times I can't even feel it anymore. The trick is not to panic. Fire is your friend. Look what I found. Down at the station, we like to call this an octopus. Let me show you something. Pulleys up, it becomes an exposed electrical outlet. Let's just say it's after dinner, you've got a fork in your hand, somebody says, hey, I got electricity. Where? Fire Marshal Bill, are you okay? Are you joking? I've been hit by lightning 19 times. That's horrible. Not really. I'm starting to enjoy it. Okay, everybody.
I'm starting to enjoy it.
Now, your kitchen area is an all too common locale for fires. First time I spontaneously combusted was in a kitchen not unlike this one. It was one of those hot nights. I opened the fridge and went up like a powder keg. Good thing I knew how to drop and roll. Your hand's on fire. So it is. That's a sure sign that your gas flow hasn't been calibrated properly. Say you got yourself a bit of a virus. You're looking for a box of tissue, but it's not there, and it's too late. Next thing you know, your gas light goes out on your new gas range. Suddenly, your house is hit by a giant meteor storm that's totally unexpected. One of those hot little babies comes right through the kitchen window. You just happen to be holding a match. Hey! You're not going to like that, are you? Don't worry, folks. I'm a fire marshal.
Oh my goodness.
Everything we had was in there. Come on, folks, let's move on. You'll be all right. Just keep building a fire, okay? Is that a wood shingle roof you got there? Let me show you something.
It's so stupid.
Nobody will ever top that.
God, that's so stupid.
It's Jim
Guys,
Carrey.
they're-
What do you expect?
The guy's there to prevent fires and he blows.
He blows their house up. Let me show you something. Oh, and there's tons more like that, dude. That show there was just like the most ridiculous fucking show on television at one point. In Living Color. Oh my God, with the Wayans brothers, those guys were just plumb retards. It was great.
Yeah.
The only ones I couldn't get into was like Kids in the Hall and shit like that. Those shows were just like so fucking stupid it wasn't even funny. You know?
Yeah.
And Saturday Night Live, guys, just go home. Y'all are done. Saturday Night Live was over in the 80s. You know, that's when the greats were still there. Well, I take that back. The 90s. You know, the mid to late 90s. The rest of y'all just stop. It's over. Lauren
Saturday Night
Michaels,
Live's terrible now.
Lauren Michaels, go take a nap, please.
Are they still
Just like
alive?
everything else,
I
it's
think
all
so.
attention driven. You know, like probably even that what Scott was talking about, parade. You know, it's no longer fun when it's attention driven.
Well, it's not even. We've seen the shift with MTV. You know, music television that's not even music anymore at all. It's
The whole point-
ridiculousness now, 24/7.
It is. MTV is just trash. But like the whole point of like comedy is to be comedy, it's not to be propaganda. And once comedy becomes propaganda, it's no longer funny.
Well, exactly, and that's SNL is more politically driven than anything else now. And
Yeah,
I'm sick of hearing this shit.
I remember the minute Trump got elected, and everyone had that damn and they spent they had freaking I'm trying to think of that one lady who impersonates Hillary Clinton, just crying while doing a ballad on the piano. You're just like, what the fuck is this? This isn't funny. This is stupid.
There's a lot of non-funny SNL shows. And I don't really discredit the actors and actresses. It's totally
Well, she's
fucking
great at what she
whatever.
does. It's just they just set them up to be not funny. It's just
Right.
what the fuck.
It's just like, these don't even make sense. And y'all approve this crap. You know?
Right. It's a waste.
The only comedian I ever seen that was funny that didn't make any sense half the time was the one that Jim Carrey played him at one point in his movie. Vodka from Taxi. What the fuck was his name?
Oh, Andy Kaufman.
Andy Kaufman. He was the only comedian that I ever saw in my entire life that could just not make any sense whatsoever, but he was absolutely hilariously brilliant at it.
Dude, that guy was a prankster, the king of pranks.
Exactly. You know?
People, I remember one time I was like watching a movie, not like it. He goes to Arizona State. He goes to Arizona State reading a novel, and everyone there is like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then everyone gets excited because he brought out not a. I'm trying to think of what was those machines that played music before records?
Phonograph?
Yeah, a phonograph. And then it became the same novel that he was reading, and everyone there was like, "What the fuck is this?"
And that's what I said. You could just. Him and Mitch Hoffman were probably two of the funniest comedians. Or is Mitch Hedberg? Yeah, Mitch Hedberg. I think that was his name. He was always fucking high as hell on heroin, I think, when he was on stage.
Yeah.
But this guy would get up there and say stupid shit like, I'm going to buy a cordless extension cord. Just out of the blue, just at random moments, he would say stupid shit like that, and it would just catch you so off guard, you would laugh at him. Yeah.
I mean, he was pretty funny too. I don't know. I don't remember how he died, but he's been gone for a while.
It was a drug overdose.
Okay.
He was a heroin addict.
17 years. Jeez.
Yeah, he was a heroin addict.
Makes sense. As for Andy Kaufman, I know he died of cancer, but for some reason, there were rumors of him still like faking his death and being alive somewhere. I
Like I
never
said,
understood him.
I don't trust any celebrity death. I don't cancer, whatever excuse that they use is an excuse.
I don't even really care. I mean,
Yeah.
okay, you faked your death and you disappeared. Good for you. I mean, you're no longer famous and you're nothing now. Great job. You know, who even fucking cares?
I just realized one day this show's gonna become too famous, and then you're gonna have to fake your death. You just realized that.
My mouth is too fucking big. I'd wind up like telling on myself or something. Like producing the show from the grave or some shit and just chime in. And now you know, goddamn it, good and well that fuck. There goes my fake death.
Yeah. Oh, it'd be like Better Call Saul. There's just Saul like trying to fake his death and pretend he was a guy named Gene Tanovic in Nebraska, and everyone found out he was Better Call Saul within within like 2 months.
Jesus.
Like, good going, genius.
Fake death. I don't know if we'll ever become that famous.
You don't know if it's in the stars yet, but it could very well be. Stay tuned.
I get a whiff of being famous. I'm gonna fake my death.
Make sure Boomer agrees to that.
Oh, Jesus.
You might be like, no, you're not.
Hart would completely forget by the next morning and go live the next day.
Yeah. Yeah, not only would go live, we'd be like seeing we'd be seeing another native documentary too.
Right.
Like another 6-hour documentary. I'm still dead. Watch this movie.
Broadcasting from the grave now. It's Hart Homer.
Yeah, exactly what be happening.
No many artists become famous if they die. Then I can at least get some money then maybe.
I mean, technically, a lot of them were famous before they died. I mean, Andy Warhol, he was famous before he died. You know?
He lived until the 60s. He lived until 63.
I mean, he painted a freaking Campbell's can. What? I mean, that's not art.
It's not, but it is. I mean, It was on drugs, so it was all art.
Right, but the funny thing is, a lot of art in that era looks the fucking same. It's supposed to be like conventional photos with a bunch of fucked up colors in its place.
Mm.
Like that's all that art was. It doesn't matter if it's like a fucking a Campbell's painting or a painting of like Bobby Hall. Either way, it was the same like fucked up, drugged out color scheme for like the most generic ass paintings.
Right. I mean, but that was the 60s.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know,
yeah,
I
that's
mean,
the whole thing. Do acid.
I don't know. The 60s were a troubling time, I think, for America.
Yeah. It wasn't the
And the
'60s, like
70s
the
weren't
late
much better.
'60s.
Yeah, and the 70s weren't much better.
Right. It was like the late '60s and like mid '70s was like the crazy era.
Oh, then it's cocaine, like it. Yeah.
That's the 80s, dude.
Yeah.
80s and the 90s, early 2000s.
Didn't they have like? I thought crack cocaine was '80s and '90s. I thought regular cocaine was like late '70s.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
it's still floating around out there, pretty
Yeah, it's
relevant.
still there.
Right. But it's just so weird. We're talking about the about the '60s was a crazy era, but it was really like 3 years of the '60s that were nuts.
Well, yeah,
You
no,
know,
I mean, that was with psychedelics and shit like that. And I'm talking about like cocaine was real big in the 80s with like corporate America and shit.
well, yeah, that was there. Yeah, I mean, there's so many. Yeah, right.
And I mean, it really hasn't went away. It's still a very major part of it.
I feel like we never really left the '80s.
Damn sure did.
No,
God,
not
the
like
fucking 80s were horrible. What are you talking about?
no, like I'm not saying like that. I'm saying like more like culture wise. It seems like everything always goes back to the fucking '80s.
Do you
It's
not
like
remember Toyota Corollas from back then? Let's not do that again, okay?
Why?
What, what do you mean, why?
Toyota Corollas, they never went away, dude. Never.
No, I'm talking about from the 80s.
No, but I'm saying like Toyota Corolla just changed colors.
It's still the same design from 1975.
No, I mean obviously it looks different now, but I'm just saying like Corollas never went away. Like, the Toyota Echo might have gone away, whatever.
Oh,
Or like the Supra or something like that.
No, there's
No,
still
it just seems
Supras
like
out there. I seen one the other day in Arby's going through the drive-through. It was the ugliest fucking car I've ever seen.
man, Scott's so traumatized by the '80s.
I mean, can you blame me?
He was
I mean,
like,
you fucking nightmares of Max Headroom and shit. I mean, okay.
God.
I actually got nervous when I watched the movie Pixels. When Max Headroom popped up, I was like, holy shit, he's back. This isn't good at all.
You were 11. You were 10 by the time it was December 1st, like January 1st, 1990.
Yes. No. Yeah. No. Yeah, you're right. No, I was 18. No, I was 11. 1990.
You weren't even like, man, you must have hated your childhood. You must have hated
My
your
childhood was fucking awesome, dude. What are you
No,
talking about?
wasn't.
It was
I,
like you
I
wake
mean,
up in the morning, your mom would give you a bowl of cereal, like during the summertime, she'd give you a bowl of cereal and then just like, all right, now get the fuck out of the house. Come back when the lights come out. The street lights come on. And that was it. The only way you ate like during the day is if like some other kid's parents took mercy on you or some shit and gave you a sandwich. I mean, you're drinking from water hoses and shit, you know. I mean, that was all fucking day, dude. There was no cell phones, no nothing.
right. That also sounds a lot like the '90s too, except we just ate more junk food while we're out all day.
Yeah, and I mean, we got to go through every goddamn technology they came out with. I mean, we went from 8 tracks when I was a kid to cassette tapes, to CDs, to MP3s, to streaming music. I mean, you know, we watched all of this technology be born from nothing to pagers. Oh my God, that was horrible too. I hated those
I
fucking things.
couldn't stand those things. Two buttons, a million functions. What the? Oh.
It was fucking horrible. Those little things, and then we had these little codes we would type in numbers so the other person would know what the fuck we were trying to page them for. You put your phone number in like 911 behind it. Hey, it's an emergency. Oh shit, I gotta find a fucking payphone now. You know, I mean, it was fucking crazy.
That's,
Then
but
bag
yeah, it's kind
phones
of
and
like talk about how great your childhood is, even though you hated the 80s.
well, I mean, think about how it was to sit there and be watching cartoons, and then all of a sudden Ronald Reagan's retarded ass just pops up on the fucking screen. I mean, come on now. He used to love being on television. I mean, fuck, for Christ's sakes, the dude was an actor.
Right. Well, I mean, is that much different than a kid watching cartoons now and then, 46 is on, comes on at the end of the cartoon day. I don't know where I am. What are pants?
I hate to interrupt Dora the Explorer, but here you go, kids. I think I left my bicycle at home this morning.
I don't know why are we doing this to ourselves? That's what I want to know. Did we miss a memo where everybody just said, let's see how much we could fuck the country up in a matter of like 2 generations?
I think it was by design. I think a lot of it was by design. I don't think it's some like, run of the mill retardation. I think it was all planned decades in advance.
Now, I want to know what the fuck happened to our generation. Like why we came out one way and then all of the next generation came out retarded and then the next one even more retarded. And now this last one, I have no hope left. You know, I mean,
No, I mean, there's just too much technology. I think the more technology comes out, the more the hormones are fucked with, and the more retarded everyone becomes as a result.
I don't know. I just don't get it anymore. You know,
Is that a coincidence? Every generation becomes more and more emasculated than the previous one. Either.
well, yeah, well, that's true. I don't know. It's just weird, you know, because I mean, we came from our generation. You know, we pretty much survive or die. You know, I mean, we were still riding around, standing up in front seats of cars, going down the road with no seatbelts on.
Right.
You know, and
In the back of
yeah, riding around in the fucking bed of a truck. Shit, that's still legal down here.
missed that. The kids don't even know this. They don't know it.
I remember going trick or treating one year, and me and my cousin were riding on the tailgate of his dad's truck, and his dad hit a bump in the road, and he fell off the tailgate.
Right.
And his dad drove a good little bit before he realized, hey, wait, we're missing a kid. Cousin just was walking up behind the truck like, what the fuck, bruh? Just left me.
Yeah, Robert Walker would be perfect for a show like this because you and him are the same generation. Even though Robert acts like a lot older than you are.
I mean, I'm 43 years old.
You act a lot older than you are, Scott.
How do I act older than I am?
Yeah, like sometimes I forget you're 43 years old by the way you act out.
I don't know how to take that. I don't know if that's a compliment or, hey, you're an old fuck.
Sometimes it's like the way you yell at people. It's like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? You retards don't get it. He's not like a grumpy old 55-year-old man.
Yeah, Olivia calls me a grumpy cuss all the fucking time. It's just
like he's not so grumpy as
you. Honey, I don't get this technology.
Well, no,
I hate you. You all piss me off, you retards. Yeah,
I'm
they
not that
go.
fucking. I'm not that bad. Jesus.
But it's funny, I think about you, and I think about someone like Robert, who's only 8 years older than you, but he acts like he's 30 years older than you with the way he functions on computers.
I mean,
Like,
well, I don't have any
what do you
problems.
think?
I don't have any
Robert's
technological issues here. I mean,
yeah.
give me some
No,
credit. At least I know.
no, you're better than him when it comes to that. Because like Robert, he's like, well, yeah, no, Arsh, well, I did put my phone in airplane mode because my dogs played with the phone and I didn't lock it. And I'm like,
That has nothing.
are you
I have
well,
one
yeah, I
computer.
didn't know that. He put an airplane mode and answer your call.
We have a big ass cat. His name is Lucky Lou. And Lucky Lou likes to walk across the keyboard on my second computer that's on my desk here. And it is made for some very, very fun Google searches. And I'm going to compile those just for Robert because I have a feeling that's the kind of things that happen at Robert's house on his computer.
On his phone.
On his phone, yeah.
That, that happened.
Oh, all the memes that would be let loose, like things like that.
Oh my God, the things he Google searches.
Oh man.
Like 40
Well,
million
yeah,
character
no, I gotta
words.
make sure my dad's not around.
And I don't know what's worse, the fact that he types like a 40 million character word and then hits enter, and Google actually returns a result. And I think that's the scariest part of it. The cat's probably speaking some kind of ancient Egyptian language on my fucking computer or some shit. I am almost out of cola.
We're already at the 1 hour 27 minute mark. So.
I think.
I think back in my day, this would have been the end of the show.
Get out of here, boy.
Get the hell out of here, boy.
Get out of here, boy.
And just want to remind everybody we had a wonderful time tonight. This has been a Tuesday edition of the CrayolaSec Harsh Reality. 11/22, 2 days before Turkey Day. Make sure you get your turkey. Oh, get your turkey. Harsh, go to Costco. Buy your goddamn turkey. Okay? Art, you don't need to buy a turkey. We understand. It's fine.
Just
Anyway.
go right on Black Friday with some bows and arrows.
There you go. Well, y'all have a wonderful night. Been fun, folks. See you Friday. Or maybe sooner. Who knows?